My neighbor said boys will be boys when her son harassed women, so we showed her what boys really do. My neighbor's son started hunting the moment he moved in 3 houses down, and I don't use that word lightly. When a girl rode by on her bike one morning, he yelled, "You look better sitting on my face instead," loud enough for the whole street to hear. So I just wrote him off as another Jefferson High douchebag, until my little sister Maya came home crying and told me what he'd said to her. Monday morning, Maya left for school in her standard Jefferson uniform, plaid skirt, white polo, same outfit every girl wore. This new neighbor boy, who couldn't be older than 17, blocked her path at the corner and said, "That uniform shows me exactly who you're gonna grow up to be. I wanna be first in line when you're ready," and made these wet kissing sounds until she ran. She's literally 14 years old. I walked her every morning after that, adding 20 minutes to our walk just to avoid him. By week 2, he'd graduated to physical assault. My friend Emma sits next to me in chemistry. Sweet girl, wants to be a pediatric nurse. Thursday, she's reaching for beakers when he pressed against her from behind, hands sliding onto her hips, and said, "Don't play hard to get, you know you want this." When she dirked away, he laughed and said, "Accident, but you felt how hard I am. I know you liked it." The teacher was writing equations on the board, completely oblivious. Then he targeted Mrs. Smith, a 30-year-old married woman who was just trying to plant marigolds in her front yard. This piece of crap stops his bike, watches her kneeling in the dirt, and says, "I like you in that position bent over. If you're bored of your husband, I can show you what a real man feels like." Then stood there grinning while she scrambled inside. No woman in the neighborhood was safe, and it didn't matter if you were 14 or 40. Sunday morning, my mom and a few others walked over for what they hoped would be a reasonable conversation. His mother answered in yoga pants and a namaste tank top, looking annoyed at the interruption. Our mothers explained calmly that her son had been making inappropriate comments to their daughters, touching them and making them uncomfortable, but she just laughed. Not nervous laughter, genuine amusement. "Boys will be boys," she said while examining her manicure. "Maybe your daughters shouldn't be so tempting. When they dress like that, what do you expect?" My mom tried reasoning with her about the married women being harassed too, but the woman just shrugged and said they should save their sexy energy for their husbands instead of parading it around the neighborhood. Then she shut the door in their faces, but not before adding that her son was just being friendly, and we were all overreacting. That's when it clicked. She wasn't just clueless, she actually believed her son's behavior was normal. Fine, I'd show her exactly what boys being boys look like. I told my brother Jake everything that night. Jake's 19, played varsity football, has this crew of guys who look like they stepped out of a CrossFit commercial. He listened to every detail, jaw clenching when I described what happened to Maya. "So if boys will be boys," I said, "then be boys." Jake smiled, not his usual goofy grin, but something sharper. "Leave it to me." The next week, Jake and his friends started hanging around the creep at school, fed his ego like a Thanksgiving turkey, acted like he was their new best friend, and this idiot ate it up. Showed them exactly how he made the kissing sounds, demonstrated his hip thrust technique, repeated every disgusting thing he'd said. Maya's gonna be so ready in a few years. Emma was grinding on me in chemistry, playing hard to get. Mrs. Smith was basically begging for it, bent over like that in her garden. Jake's crew memorized everything, every gesture, every phrase, every revolting detail. 2 weeks of this. 2 weeks of intelligence gathering disguised as friendship. Tuesday evening was showtime. 4 guys positioned at the neighborhood entrance, waiting. Mrs. Perfect Yoga Mom pulled up in her white Honda Civic at 6:47, NPR bumper sticker gleaming. "That pencil skirt shows me exactly what kind of woman you are," Jake called out, using her son's exact cadence. She froze, hand on the door handle. "Don't play hard to get, we know you want the attention." Another guy made the same wet kissing sounds her son perfected. Her face went white, then red, then purple. She started yelling about harassment and respect, threatening to call the police. Jake just shrugged. "What? Boys will be boys, right?" Every morning after that was the same routine. Comments about how she looked ready for something when she jogged, asking if her husband knew what a real woman needed, telling her they liked her, bent over getting the mail. Using every single phrase her son had used, delivered with the same predatory confidence. Day 3, she stopped her morning jogs, started speed walking to her car with her head down. Day 5, she began leaving for work at 6 a.m., trying to beat them to the street. Day 7, she didn't leave the house at all. 2 months later, the for sale sign went up. My parents met the new owners at a block party, and the wife mentioned the previous owner warned her about harassment in the neighborhood, claimed her son was being bullied just for being friendly. My mom nearly choked on her wine before assuring her, "Oh no, we look out for each other here." Turns out when boys are actually boys, nobody wants to stick around for the show.